So why don't you tell us about this new form of scamming?
You look so mischievous, Ian.
This will wake you up.
With your come hither stare. Which one? There's a lot. Okay, this was alerted.
There's a lot of ways of scamming.
Well, this is the one that is one I had not seen before. So the problem with CDs, CD games, is that they're a lot more easier to make than cards. A lot more. Fortunately, scammers have not really, at least I know of, haven't really gravitated towards trying to sell repro CDs, as far as I know.
Sapphire on the PC Engine is the only one I can think of.
Can you think of a few others? The only thing I can think of is I think maybe like Philips, like CDI demos that were rare. Something like this is like years back. I heard like rumblings of people trying to create those, because the CD is just, if you can find the CD that was manufactured on, like for example Philips CDI, get a Philips CD. You're halfway there if you can find one that came out back then, and then you just have to find the data and then know how to properly burn it. And then it's so much easier to fake artwork on a CD than on a card. It's just easier to do it because it's not as defined, I think, overall, versus on a clear label.
You're talking like a dot printed, like... Yeah, sure, okay.
So now you can get professional. You can go in a store and for $50 buy a CD burner that has it included, that you can do both.
Oh, jeez.
We're talking about, or at least, or you can print the nice labels. Anyway, the whole point is this: I had not seen this before, ever, that someone was trying to sell a rare CD game until now. And I think we might have to start instituting the scumbag seller of the week. Yeah. Because we're talking about this more and more. And if we have to start calling these people out, we will. So, for example, I'm going to call out on eBay, sell for sale. C as in cat, sell for sale. Trying to sell Sega CD, Snatcher CDs, the game disc print.
There's no data on these.
There's no data.
What they're for is obviously so someone can buy one and burn it. And he actually says, I believe somewhere in his listing, that if you want to talk to him about getting reproduction artwork, you can call him and set up, I think it even says something like, set up an order, like multiples.
You want me to read the description?
Yeah.
I'll read it. I'm giving you advertising, asshole. Brand new writable disc with Sega CD game Snatcher art printed on. This disc contains no data, so it is not a bootleg. It's still illegal because it's copyrighted, though, but it's still not a bootleg. But it is writable and brand new, so you can put any data, music, or files you choose. You know what? I'm going to get this Snatcher CD, and I'm going to put pictures from my godson's bar mitzvah on it, or whatever. That's what I'm going to do with this.
I'm going to put...
I'm not even Jewish, and I'm still going to do that.
I'm just going to make a couple of weird copies of Halo 1 down in it, and just fucking, sub those out to 9 Inch Nails fans on Snatcher CD.
You want my 80s MP3 mix CD?
Yeah.
On a Snatcher CD? Now's your chance. Art is printed directly onto the disc, unlike cheap sticker labels. Oh, so it's just like how it was produced back in the late 90s. Additional photos provided show other prints compared to originals. Contact me if you want any other CD, DVD, or video game covers printed, and we can do a transaction through eBay. Oh, that's how nice! He's advertising the fact that he's doing something highly illegal.
Yeah. So, this is what I have to say about it, beyond the fact that he's a fucking scumbag, is when, there's a reason I brought up Sapphire, they found ways to determine the differences between the bootleg Sapphire CDs and the legitimate Sapphire CDs fairly quickly. Thicker inner rings, the serial numbers, you gotta look for certain numbers within a certain batch, the coloring is going to be a big thing. So, hopefully if this becomes widespread, we will find a database or someone will make one where they can show you, just like they did with Sapphire, how to determine what's a bootleg CD and what's not. All I know is that this is going to make my job really fucking difficult. The next Snatcher that comes in, I'm going to look at the guy and I'm basically going to be like, you fucking kidding with me? And if he kind of is like, what? Then maybe I'll take him.
Hey, forget about it.
Forget about it. And then maybe I'll take him a little bit more seriously. But
here's the problem, and this is always an argument with assholes that actually condone this activity by saying, well, it's the responsibility of the person buying it to know. Fuck off. Just fuck off. It's the responsibility of assholes selling stuff that's illegal and getting away with it. That's the problem. It's not the problem that if someone gets into collecting and they see someone selling a Snatcher CD that's fake and they don't know it for like $75, you're like, wow, this is a deal. And then they buy it. Oh, it's their fault. No, it's not, asshole. It's not their fault.
It's not their fault.
Because when the police get called into anything like that, it's not the fault of the person buying it.
They're not
arresting them. They're arresting the person that's selling the fake Prada bags. That's the one that they're arresting, you know? And it's just a shame, like you said, that you're going to get in this situation, maybe not 6 months from now, maybe a few years, where who the hell knows what happens.
I dread the day, and I hope it never happens, but I dread the day that Luna sells its first bootleg by accident or gets caught buying a bootleg.
Because then it's on you for selling it.
Because it's on us. And with all of these different... Look, I one of the first things I teach employees is how to spot bootleg Pokemon cards, because they're everywhere. And I teach them how to look for various other bootleg things. But I can't teach everyone everything, and on a busy Saturday, Treg and I don't have the time necessarily to always go everything with a magnifying glass. Now, on expensive items like something like this, we would be sure to go over it with a fine-tooth comb. But I just the day that one gets by us and we get called out on it is the day that I don't want to fucking sell video games anymore. You guys are it's not an awe thing. It's these people are fucking killing it for me.
Yeah. You can now go online and buy, I think they're from South America, Flintstone Surprise at Dinosaur Peak boxes and manuals. Yeah, the set for like $20 plus shipping, I think it's something like that. It's just, Jesus Christ.
Everyone knows not to pull that shit in the store. We would just look at it and be like, you are fucking out of your mind. Oh, this looks crispy and brand new. Get it the fuck out the store.
Yeah. No, but it doesn't take someone with even a little bit of ingenuity or intelligence to like rumple it a little bit or crinkle it to make it look like it's used. That's the problem. Or beat it against like a stone to make it look like worn.
Yeah, but I don't think a lot of those people would be smart enough to do such a thing.
You don't know. You really don't know. It's a shame. So we're going to start putting more asshole sellers on blast every other week, I think, on the CU podcast.
Yeah, why not?
I don't care if I get a hit put out at me when I go to like some of these conventions from by some of these asshole sellers. It's worth it. I'll be a martyr. So, Self for Sale, you are the official scumbag seller of the week. Woo!
You are 100% rotten feces. Way to go.